When people are looking for a Paladin deck nowadays, they usually default to something like Murloc Paladin or more controlling Azoth Paladin. Um, and on the latter, that might not be the best choice for you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rooster, and this is one of the decks I like to bring out every once in a while, actually. It's Secret Paladin, and this is a deck. I was going to refer to the guy that really only plays Secret Paladin ever, but his name escapes me right now. Against a Mage, do we want to play Noble Sacrifice on turn 1? It does. It does let us get a little bit of initiative on the board, but it doesn't really do anything right now. So let's just skip. If this were Redemption, I surely would have. It's currently looking like we're going for a turn 2 hero power, so that might not be the best idea either. Yeah, just going for the hero power, and let's see what kind of mage we're up against. Sounds a little loud for me, so let me turn it down a little bit. So Secret Paladin, it's been a strange deck ever since the transition from WoW to Standard, basically, because the game has lost a lot of its consistent curve, mostly, which is kind of a problem because do we want to get rid of? I think I already want to take rid of one of these things, so charging this out might seem a little odd, but I do think they will be enough of a roadblock that I would like to get started by killing them right now. Excuse me while I readjust my chair a little bit. So yeah, Secret Paladin has been in kind of a weird spot because that's not good for us, is it? It could be. It could be. That is definitely one of the better outcomes, and if she hadn't hero power there, that would have been really good for us. But let's see. We've got. I think this might be a good turn to Noble Sacrifice because we are likely just playing a 3 anyway, so we're floating a mana, and we've got another 3 and a hero power up for next turn. Turn 6 will be busy. So we don't really have a lot of opportunity to use this. Let's go for this. She might be afraid to ping this because it might be Redemption, so that could also be good. And we might get a nice buff on this if she doesn't have another Arcane Intellect, or Arcane Explosion, I guess. Not really knowing what's up with this Mage deck yet. Mage is generally not a crazy... Ooh, that's a risk, man. If this were a Redemption, that would have been really good for us, but that's too bad. Yeah, you can target that. That's how stealth works.
Someday I'll be just like you.
So, what do you got? I will happily smash that with my face next turn. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I don't mind Redemption either. Because we're playing the Challenger next turn, I rather like that. So, let's go with the weapon here. Do we unstealth our... Yes, I do think we unstealth our minion here. Because we have to do the face damage at some point, and using the Redemption here instead of the hero power seems like the correct choice. Because having something good to Redemption is always kind of important, so pings off the Divine Shield and kills it, and that gives us another 2-1 Divine Shield, which is pretty neat for just 1 mana. Or basically 2 mana, but that's fine.
Who am I?
So getting the last secret out. People really don't know how to play against secrets anymore. That's the main thing I've noticed when playing this deck on ladder. People are making some really silly mistakes in the face of some Paladin secrets. Mostly because not many people are playing it anymore. So that seems like a curious choice with 7 cards in your hand, but we'll see how this ends up. What have you got, ma'am? What is in your hand?
Let the pain speak to me.
Okay, well, I'm perfectly fine with this. Getting some kind of value, basically if you get two buffs out of your competitive spirit, it's already fine. So, not really bending over backwards to get rid of that. I think we're going to play some small minions here, right? So,
Silence.
these are always going face. We could also set up for lethal. If she wants to draw some cards, then that could be fine. I don't know about that. But we could go for the Argent Commander if she wants to Flame Strike us, for instance, and just set up for lethal next turn. If we take her down to 8, she's going to have a tough time, I imagine. Add some Divine Shields. She's pretty much dead. So I think we can just safely go face here. And there's not a whole lot of situations in which she survives for a few more turns. So this is probably okay. She can draw a card with her Acolyte, but she can't really kill everything. So the best she can do is Blizzard here, basically. Blizzard or Frost Nova, I guess. Perhaps combined with a Doomsayer, that might actually be a little annoying, I will admit. Maybe I should have kept the Argent Commander. We can never combine that with a Leroy either, so... We've got the 6 damage here, and we can't really deal with the Doomsayer whatsoever, unless we kept a Weapon Charge, I guess. Maybe we should have kept the Weapon Charge last turn. That might have been the solution, but I don't think she ever survives here. So let's see what's up. Frostbolt's that one, so it at least freezes it, yes, of course. Okay, well, I guess that is one way that she actually survives next turn. Do we care enough about that Flamewaker, or should we just smash face here? Those were some lucky shots, because she was basically dead there. What do we do? I guess we kill off the Acolyte. Does that matter? Yeah, she would be able to ping off. There's no way for us to kill the Flamewaker except by Leroying it, which we're definitely not doing. So I guess we could Barnes for a charge minion, right? That's never going to win us the game, but it could be fine. It's also overextending us into Flame Strike, which I don't like. So maybe just play something big, and yeah. Let's not make it any easier on her. Where does this go? I think it kills this, just to remove some options. There's also something to be said for increasing the amount of targets on the board, so the Flamewaker doesn't hit anything essential. I really don't know what's correct there. A Flame Strike still kills the board. I don't like that. Maybe we should have attacked face there. But if we get a weapon or an abusive sergeant, I guess a Blessing of Kings also does the trick. There's a lot of ways for us to kill her next turn. So as long as she doesn't have Flame Strike, I think we've basically won. I could be wrong about this though. So Fireball's that one. 1 mana left. If she taunts here, that would be really annoying. That was pretty much perfect. But still not enough. Alright. There's a lot of cards that give us lethal here. And this is one of the reasons that Leroy's in the deck, in addition to the Argent Commanders. But yeah, Mage can be really annoying, as you can see. I was a little worried that game, I will admit. Some decks this deck struggles against include Hunter. I've been having a hard time against... Actually, no, I've been having a hard time against Hunter today, but when I played this deck a few days ago, I was actually winning against Hunters, even though I felt like I was losing the whole game. So I don't really know what to think about Hunter. I guess we'll see this game. I'm thinking the matchup is worse than it is, actually. What I mean is, the matchup is better than I think it is, but I think it's pretty bad. And this is one of the problems you might find yourself running into when playing a deck like this. It has a lot of 1-drops, but it doesn't have any 2s. So you will find yourself hero powering on turn 2 more often than I would like? Let's just hero power here. We can still hero power and Dragon Egg on turn 3, which is better than playing the Dragon Egg now, in my honest opinion. We could go for the egg here, actually, which is not the worst idea. We do want to trade into that. And the alternative would be to Silent Knight, I guess, which is a plan I also rather like. So Silent Knight, which allows us to kill the big bad wolf next turn in combination with the horse rider. I think I prefer that over hero powering again. Although, let's just see how this goes. This could be pretty good for us. If I get a 3-2-1 out here, then that would be pretty good for us. And still the 1-1 trades with the big bad wolf, so that's not bad. And then we can Argent Horse Rider to kill it. So we do, or we Keeper of Uldaman to kill it, actually, which is also not a bad idea. Okay, well, one Keeper of Uldaman coming up, certainly. Don't trade here, please. Please don't trade here. I was giving him the hint, wasn't I? This is actually fine. This is actually fine. We could Consecrate, doesn't seem like the greatest plan ever. I kind of like just keepering here, just to have a minion on the field that can trade with this. Alternatively, the Argent Horse Rider looks really appealing. Oh, of course, if we smash into that, then the wolf pops out, so he still has a 3-1. A 3-2, of course. Any better options right now? Not really. So let's go for the keeper. I still like that idea. It's probably the best plan we have this turn. And the wolf... Whenever a wolf master... Come on, what's this card called? Houndmaster, there we go. Whenever a Houndmaster hits, that's a pretty good turn for the hunter regardless. So that's really ugly. At least he's trading, but I can't say I agree here. Although it's turning out to be pretty good for them regardless. Let's see, we can Argent Horse Rider, which is not very good. We can Weapon, which is starting to hurt a little bit. So I'm guessing this will be Consecration time. I don't like it, but the double Houndmaster is really painful. So it's hard to feel too bad about that. If we only had 1 mana extra, we could buff the Argent Horse Rider with the weapon. That would be really good. That would allow us to clear the board, but there's no way for us to do that right now, unfortunately. Next turn we have Horse Rider and weapon, so we should be able to clear the boards. And we'll just have to take our losses right now. I don't think there's any way to... I don't think there's any way we could have prevented the double Houndmaster from hitting, so I shouldn't feel too bad about that. But that's a pretty good start for him, and not a very good start for us, so... Can be hard to deal with. And 3-drops do tend to clog up your hand, which is a reason we only run 6 of them, and we've drawn a lot of them by now. We've drawn 4 out of our 6 3-drops, and we've played 0 so far, so that's not that's not the position you want to find yourself in. Let's clear some minions, shall we? Yeah, we basically have to at this point, so let's make sure to actually apply the buff here, kill this, and kill the Houndmaster. Double Loot Harder in a Hunter deck, that's actually curious. I'm expecting him to trade here and then perhaps play Savannah Highmane, which is still not pretty for us, but we do have a Keeper of Uldaman to deal with that at least temporarily. Could be a N'Zoth Hunter deck, now I'm thinking of it. Oh, hero power on turn 6, that's good for us. But... I don't know what to think about that. I really don't know what to think about that, except him having a lot of burst in his hand, which is really bad for us right now. Let's see, what can we do? If that's a freezing trap, I would like to get rid of that as soon as reasonably possible. So we could charge an Argent Horse Rider into it, which may not be the worst idea. I kind of want to check for freezing trap. If this is bear trap, that's fine. If it's explosive, that's kind of fine, because we need to trigger it anyway. And if it's freezing as suspected, we can still play a Silent Night and see where things end up from there. Can we please end the turn? That would be really nice, thank you. We can't really attack any minions, so perhaps I should have just attacked face here. There might be a situation in which we don't. I really don't know. That's a deadly shot, alright. Well, at least he's not developing much on the board. But yeah, I was basically expecting him to have a lot of burn in his hand, so we are basically dead here. That's not the card you want to see when you've got a Mysterious Challenger in your hand. Let's... well, we can at least prevent a weapon from killing us. We cannot because Noble Sacrifice is here. We may just have to take that risk, though. We need to develop something on the board, and I guess the Mysterious Challenger will be the best choice. So you'll still have to respect the possibility of a Noble Sacrifice, but could very well just be a beast and a kill command in his hand, and that is a game for us. We had a decent plan to deal with the minions in his early game, but yeah, just having a 1-drop on turn 1 is really important. Although, generally, I will keep a 3-drop, because if you have neither, then you're really, really screwed. So yeah, hunters can be risky. Can be tricky, I mean, to defeat. But, to be fair, he had a pretty amazing start, and we did not. So I don't feel too horrible about that. Hunters are definitely beatable, but your health total is a resource, and it's one that's rapidly diminishing whenever you're facing a hunter. Which, I suppose, counts for all classes, but for aggressive Paladin decks even more so. Keeping Dragon Egg against a rogue seems like an excellent idea. So let's see what else we get. Well, this is kind of more like it. Even Competitive Spirit is not horrible when you have a Dragon Egg. So that's kind of okay. If not incredibly exciting, you would prefer to not have a secret in your hand and just play your Mysterious Challenger on 6 and get all 3 out of there. But yeah, the purpose of not playing a lot of secrets is basically not diluting your deck by too much. We could go for the Ardent Squire plus Competitive Spirit, which is a little odd, but there's not a great way for her to deal with both of those. So if we can get at least 1 buff out of that, then that could be fine. I prefer dealing with this, but this may just be acceptable. I could coin the Argent Horse Rider and kill it, but then she just weapons up. What do we do next turn then? We have a weapon, then our next turn is Rod of War. So I guess I actually like where this goes. I'm curious to see how she deals with this. This might be really bad, but I really don't know what's the best course of action here. So she kills that. She kills... she must have a... No, she doesn't have a Fan of Knives. Alright, well this is acceptable. At least she didn't have a Fan of Knives, right? So this is actually fine. If she has a Fan of Knives, then I'm not even that sad about it. So let's just get our free 2-1 while we're at it. Then she could kill it afterwards, so I guess we Argent Horse Rider here? Yeah. That seems reasonable. Fan of Knives is not very good here. Unless she has another card to spend, like a backstab or something. But in that case, we're still pretty happy to have those cards out of her hand, I think. We kind of do have to... Oh, well, if the backstab goes there, then she doesn't have Fan of Knives, which is also fine with me. So, yeah, I'm pretty okay with this. We have a weapon coming up to deal with that one, which is going to be the more expensive one, because the Rallying Blade is the more flexible card here. And we don't have a... We didn't really have a great turn to use the coin, I think. So let's just keep smashing with the egg here, and we'll see where things end up. This hand is a bit too rich in the weapon department for my liking, but we'll see what we have going next turn. Well, you can kill my weapons, that's absolutely fine. There's plenty more where that came from. I would have liked for that to be a Rallying Blade right now, but you can't have it all. Do we have to kill that? I really don't want to kill that at this point. We could go for the Noble Sacrifice, actually. Just see how that pans out, and the weapons can go face. We have oodles of weapons right now. We could go for the Coin Noble Sacrifice, which I don't like. This always gets played, right? And I think I just Hero Power and Smash Face with everything we could trade, but I really don't want to trade here. Yeah, that's fine. I think going face is the solution here. Smacking into the Harrison and then trading the egg doesn't seem too appealing. So Swashbuckler, well, that could be anything. Expecting... oh, there's a Fan of Knives, alright. So that was a thing that was going to happen eventually, or the Harrison just takes 1 damage from somewhere, in which case we can still kill it, so that's fine. I would have liked to have that last turn. I would have definitely have liked to see that King's last turn, but we can still smack the Harrison and then just make a 5-5, I guess, which is not the worst idea. Does not let us develop the Noble Sacrifice, but I guess that's kind of okay. If the 1-1 gets sapped, that's a little sad, but at least it won't be used on Tyrion, so that's okay. We're going to play Tyrion next turn, right? So, we kill that. And I don't really want to develop the weapon if I'm playing a Tyrion, right? So, let's just Hero Power and Kings. See where we go from here. Our draws have been rather poor, to say the least, so this could be a tough game. Also, with 2 SI7 agents doing a decent job, Fan of Knives wasn't spectacular, at least. How does she still have so many cards in hand, though? I'm slightly worried. Okay, well, I would have expected a sap there if she had one, so I guess we can just play Tyrion and pray. Because that's what you do when you're in this situation. Yeah, so let's see what you've got, dear opponent. Because this card can certainly do some work if you don't deal with it right now. That's acceptable. At least it's not hitting a lot of my minions. And Eviscerate, trade that one in. That is a decent way of dealing with that. When we don't have a great answer to the 5-6, which is a little sucky. At least we have the Noble Sacrifice to eat that for a turn, but she has the dagger. We need to go aggressive here. We can't really kill that, right? We're just taking too much damage at that point. Could just hope for the Noble Sacrifice to land. Yeah, if we're going to do that, then I guess we might as well just go for the face. If we're taking 5 damage by hitting this, then we might as well just go face and let it hit us, because this game will be over rather quickly, I feel. So that attacked face, yeah, and that's it. We have got 8 damage for next turn, which is definitely not enough.
Put your faith in the light.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing that happens sometimes. Well, I guess that's game over. Because we don't have any way of dealing with that. Oh, sure, yes. There's no point in continuing this game. There is absolutely no point anymore. We had to go face to even have a chance there, so that was not going to be a game where we were going to win. It's a lot more unfair when your opponent plays Syrian. It really is. That was a good start from the Rogue. That was a really weapon-rich start for us. I'm not going to blame RNG again, but I am. I kind of am. Against a Mage, we don't want Noble Sacrifice, we don't want True Silver Champion. Silent Knight is actually surprisingly effective, so I think I'm keeping that. Just so I have something to do in the early turns, which I could throw it away in hopes of getting a 1-drop, which might be more important, to be honest. We can expect to draw 3 by turn 3 in most occasions. Yeah, I'm actually throwing this away. I would have kept it if I was going second, I think. Because you can then play it on turn 3, or turn 2, I mean, with the coin, which is acceptable. But if you don't have a 1-drop, you better be mulliganing for this. And we still have 3 drops regardless, so we're not any worse off. That was not a bad decision. It didn't turn out to be a bad decision anyway. So if the Mana Worm kills this, then Silent Knight will be able to deal with the Mana Worm. So that's okay. If she does this, then we can just weapon it down. Which is okay, but I would prefer to get some worth out of the special ability here. So let's just go for the Silent Knight and see how that works out for us. She could go for multiple Arcane Missiles, I suppose, so Flamewaker into Arcane Missiles might be able to deal with this, but that's a bit of a stretch, right? And that is 7 missiles, though. So I guess that would work on average, yeah. Yeah, it would. I'm a lot happier with how this is going, though. Let's see. Feels like a bit of a waste to use the Rallying Blade to kill a 1-1, but I suppose it's not horrible. I'm tempted to play the Keeper of Ulliman here, just because it works better on curve. Basically does the same. The Babbling Book is not all that relevant. And we can use the weapon in conjunction with the Horse Rider later, which is still fine. It feels like a bit of a waste to use the buff on a 2-2, but that's still kind of okay. And this does give us the most powerful board in this situation, so I'm fine with this. He's unlikely to deal with this completely, which means we have a better next turn, or we get to hero power more often, which is also not to be underestimated. I think I'm developing a few minions here, just because the competitive spirit is burning a hole in my pocket right now. The weapon isn't particularly effective. Yeah, I think I am okay with that.
Don't worry, love. The cavalry's here.
So let's see what you got, Mage. Let's see what you got. An awkward board to deal with AoE too, because the egg is kind of blocking Flamewaker interactions. And, oh, we get a really good Divine Shield here, but I would like to play the Mysterious Challenger, so we may just want to... If we sword, we basically have nothing. I don't like having nothing, so I guess we go for Challenger. We have a bunch of minions that are pretty good when Redemption, so that's fine. And we could just leave the Azure Drake alive, right? It powers up a potential Arcane Blast, I guess. But yeah, I just really want to play this right now. It works better with the curve too. So we could trade the 4-4 here, or everything goes face. So these definitely go face. And then the 4-4, it dies to potential Flame Strike, but that's in 2 turns. Dies to Arcane Blast, but that's kind of okay. I really don't know what's the best course of action here. But perhaps I should just kill this. still a bit of an awkward situation with the Flamewaker, so that's good for us. 5 mana spell. Alright, Flamewaker coming up. And then Forbidden Flame for 1 mana on that one. Flamewaker not hitting the egg at all. Redemption... Oh, Redemption's pretty good here, as long as it doesn't Arcane Blast it again. Okay, okay. Well, we've done some work here. We have certainly done some work. I would like to kill the Flamewaker, so I probably should. What do we still have? We have the Noble Sacrifice. I should be killing both of those. So I guess I will. We'll be playing Barnes into Flame Strike. Do I really want to? I could go for the second Challenger. Is that better? No, I really just want to use the weapon. I need to use the weapon to kill the Flamewaker without sacrificing our 6-1, right? So we're going this way. This one goes face. And we could also not overcommit with the Barnes and just reinforce. I think I like that better. Although our hand is kind of heavy, we are playing Tyrion next turn, then Barnes comes out on turn 9, depending on what happens here. That could be awkward, especially with the Noble Sacrifice here. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, I'm okay with that minion. She could ping the Tyrion and then run... Yeah, and then run that into the Noble Sacrifice. So that's excellent. So she has to fireball the Tyrion now. I'm calling her... I'm calling my opponent she, as if it were Jaina, but... Alright, that works, that works. Yeah, that was a hard situation there. That was a rough situation for our opponents, but that turned out to be pretty good. Even despite the pretty good Flamewaker turn, we were doing okay, surprisingly. Mages can be troublesome. If they get a good arcane missiles off, then you can be certainly screwed before even starting. Is my voice even working here? I do hope my voice is even working, because I'm not seeing my mic
hammer burns with
making any... Yeah, it should be okay. I was a little worried there. See, if we're going second, then this is an excellent curve. So I'm keeping both of the 3s here. Let's see if we can deal with this hunter here. I have been beating a couple hunters, but it was always a pretty close game. And the past few games against a hunter weren't really a pretty sight. So passing on turn 1 is not a good start, but as long as no double secrets come out, then I'm actually okay with this. And I don't think it can withstand a Rallying Blade regardless. We should just kill that before the potential Cloaked Huntress comes out, right? Yes, we should. So unfortunately can't afford to wait for the Silent Night, I think, but this is still acceptable. So that could be a snake trap. Oh, cat triggers on coin. Of course. I have never thought about it that way, but I suppose, yes, I suppose cat triggers on coin. That's a lot of damage to our face, and that's really unfortunate. But we had to kill the Secret Keeper there, right? If he had a Cloaked Huntress here, that could have been really rough to deal with. Yeah, so we may have to consecrate that next turn. If we're smashing in this turn, then we might as well just commit to consecrate the turn after, right? That's really ugly though, but we're taking that damage regardless. I could go for a Noble Sacrifice, but that seems like a really poor turn. Could be okay. If he doesn't want to commit his weapon charge in case he has a secret or something, then it's going to cost him the 4-2, which is pretty good. I'm actually okay with that. Let's go for this. If he wants to commit his weapon charge, then that's also fine. That's going to cost him some face damage, and we need to do some damage control here. So if he doesn't want to lose his 4-2, then he has to commit his weapon charge, which is good. Or he can just go aggressive right away. Alright, well... Cat Trick is so nasty when played on turn 2 against against an opponent that hasn't used a coin yet. That is such a beating. Okay, he can't play another secret, so we will just kill that. That is fine with me. Not having anything to do here does hurt a little bit, I suppose. Yeah, we will kill that. And we will play the Silent Knight. Seems like a little weak for turn 4, and our turn 5 is not looking any better either, but that's just the way you gotta play sometimes. That looks like a hand with a lot of burn, so we may just go for a true silver champion, which can borrow us a couple of turns. Perhaps. Perhaps it can. Or perhaps we just have to face tank, get Huntress. Yeah, we can't use Leroy here, right? So if we expect him to have a beast and a kill command, we are dead. Not entirely. Actually, the True Silvers will pull us through. I have faith. It can still happen. That cat trick, though. That cat trick wasn't pretty. As I said, it really didn't occur to me that it was so good to just play on turn 2 if your opponent still has a coin. It didn't occur to me to play around either, but I don't think I really could, right? So that's another weapon, right? Are we just dead? Well... yeah, we're dead to any damage on his part. Is there anything we can do about that? Well, unleashes any damage. So we might as well... we can win if he has... what would cause us to win this game? Playing a Timely Tyrion, I guess? What do we want to do next turn? I'm trying to figure if I should play this Truce over this turn already. Which could be important. But I think we just need to flood the board as much as possible and just hope for the best. Just hope for the best. Sometimes that's all you can do. If he has an explosive trap, that could be ugly, but he doesn't know we have the second True Silver, so that could still work out. I don't know. Oh, well... that could just be an elegant way of killing us, but... oh, or he could just top deck an Arcane Shot or something. Or he could just top deck an... oh, well, that's 1 damage. We were pretty dead there anyway, right? So I wasn't really having any expectations, it just happens sometimes. Yeah, that wasn't pretty. Wow. And I'm not really sure what could be done about that, except just pray you don't queue into too many hunters. Let's give it one more game, shall we, until we throw in the towel. This deck has been surprisingly good for me, but it's not really showing up today, unfortunately. Oh good, another hunter. That's exactly what I needed. Well, let's see if we can actually beat some hunters, right? So Rallying Blade's pretty good. Dragon Egg's pretty good. Let's throw away the Leroy and keep the others. I think Dragon Egg is actually still pretty good against Hunter. Although we don't really have the synergy right now, but it's a good deterrent against Explosive Trap, if anything, so... you gotta count your blessings. Now we have a 1-drop, we have a 2-drop, and we have some stuff we want to do on the side, so I'm okay with this. Last game would have been really different if we had an Argent Squire on turn 1 instead of basically any other card. That would have made a huge difference.
I'll never tell.
So... Do we... Yeah, we do still play the Argent Squire, because at the very least... it just trades by itself with the Secret Keeper, right? So that's fine. We could go for the... No, that's never gonna happen. We could go for the Redemption, I guess. Yeah, so this is fine. This is fine. If that's Freezing Trap... Do we want to trigger the trap first, actually? I think we actually don't want to trigger it at all. Because if that's a bear trap, that's pretty bad. If that's... Oh my gosh. Don't let it be a cat trick again. Well, we're in the same situation. We are in the same situation. And it's a cat trick again. Okay, that's great. That's bloody great. But at least we have this Argent Squire here, which can do some work. So that is something. It will trade with the cat trick. The cat in the hat, at the very least. So we're in the exact situation which I was just describing. What if we had an Argent Squire on that turn? Oh my gosh, that's a lot of stuff. We don't have a Consecration now, however, which is going to be a problem. Yes, it is. So we're hitting the bat, right? We're always hitting the bat, and we're playing Dragon Egg plus Hero Power, I guess. Redemption isn't really doing anything. I guess we are. We need something to buff with Kings next turn. Oh, I did not need to Hero Power first. Still didn't matter. The correct play there was to Dragon Egg, then attack, and then Hero Power. But this is still fine.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here.
That's a very aggressive hunter. Oh my. So we still have kings here. Is that really going to be what we want to do? We are basically just dead again. If it's a hunter this aggressive, then we are basically just dead again. But at least we can kings our egg and see where it goes from there, right? We could also... Oh, we could keep Overwhelm. Why am I talking about kings when we have this available? I would kill for a Consecrate, though. That would be pretty sick. Actually, it wouldn't be that great last turn, but still okay. Still okay. Oh, goody. Oh, goody. Well, what have we got? If that's explosive, on a scale of 1 to... Rexar, how screwed are we? Let me think. Do we want to trigger our egg first? Do we want to... What do we want to attack with? I guess it's going to be the whelp, isn't it? The whelp is going to attack. Okay, let's see if we can clear this guy. We can clear that guy. In that case, let's just clear the board and not trigger any secrets here. It's kind of bad against Unleash. We're just going to have to take that. It's bad against Unleash. Okay. And it's bad against Explosive Trap, I guess. But not a whole lot we can do about that either, unfortunately. It's going to be either a bear or an explosive, but not attacking is not really an option right now, so it just has to happen. We still have a few minions left at the very least, so that's kind of okay. We kind of have to go with this right now. Although we do have a noble sacrifice here, so let's go with this. We have a decent enough board for competitive spirit, and we could actually put a reasonable clock on him as long as he doesn't kill us this very turn. Which he very well might, but at least we have the noble sacrifice to give us an extra turn, right? And we can still True Silver next turn. So yeah, basically Noble Sacrifice healed us for 3 there, which is more than the True Silver would have. So this is actually pretty good, and this is usually how you kill Hunters, by getting a good competitive spirit. So how much have we got? We have got 10, 17, 21... Wait, this is 10, 17... Lethal. There we go. This is how you kill hunters, usually. And this is how I've usually beaten Hunter in the past. And them just getting greedy and overextending by putting a lot of damage towards your face, and then you punish them by having a surprise lethal from out of nowhere. People don't know how to play against secrets anymore. That's basically what I said at the start. Anyways, this deck is better than it looks, better than I make it look probably, but it's probably pretty bad against Hunter and not that good against Shaman either. So if you haven't been facing against those a lot, then I would definitely recommend it, and, well, hope you have some fun with people not playing around secrets anymore. In each case, that is it for today, so thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you pretty soon again.